This is the artificial intelligence voice of Stephen Bartlett narrating this pod-slice summary of the Diary of a CEO podcast. The podcast begins with Busta Rhymes acknowledging that this is a side of him the public hasn't seen before. He delves deep into his journey to the pinnacle of his musical career, reaching heights of fame and accomplishment for over 3 decades. He credits his enduring success to consistency, discipline, dedication, and importantly, an addiction to his work that's unwavering and unending. As the conversation progresses, he reveals the forces that have challenged him from the peak of his powers to the depths of his personal struggles. He gives an account of the darkest moment in his life and narrates his journey to climb back and touch the zenith of his powers again. He highlights the human aspect of his story, delivering an inspiring narrative that brings an unseen side of him to light. Born in Brooklyn, East Flatbush, Rhymes was raised in a strict household by his parents. He reflects upon his upbringing with gratitude, stating his parents ensured he did not lack anything, and he enjoyed his childhood. Despite being in an area associated with notorious activities, he attests to the strong sense of community, respect, integrity, and good manners that existed during his generation. His sense of discipline was amplified by not just his parents, but also his neighbors who subscribed to the belief that it takes a village to raise a child. He found playing mischievous acts in the neighborhood resulted in disciplinary actions, not only from his parents, but also from the close-knit community. Rhymes admits to getting involved in illegal activities like selling weed and crack. However, the emergence of hip-hop as an alternative saved his life at a crucial point. He found an incredible support system in his mother, friends, family, and even in the people he associated with in the streets. His parents' separation at age 11 had a profound impact. Rhymes recalls it as a disastrous period during which he felt torn, unable to comprehend the concept of his parents living separately. His behavior changed dramatically at this time, with increased misbehavior, disrespect, and anger. This conversation provides eye-opening insight into Busta Rhymes' upbringing, revealing the intense personal experiences, struggles, and transformations that significantly contributed to his evolution as an artist and a man. The podcast moves into some of the turning points and influential figures in Rhymes' formative years, with his father in particular playing a significant, if contentious, role. Being apart from his father after his parents' separation, Rhymes was initially estranged due to their differing personalities and aspirations. His father, a practical man, believed in a more traditional path for his son's future. The constant clash of his father's pragmatism versus his own artistic inclination led to serious contention in their relationship. In contrast, his mother was significantly supportive of his artistic pursuits. She was someone with whom Rhymes could discuss personal experiences and his musical ambitions. She fully supported his music and his love for creating it, so long as it kept him away from the troubles on the streets. His father, however, saw it as a worthless pursuit and dismissed it altogether, which only added fuel to Rhymes' ambition to prove him wrong. This determination played directly into Rhymes' narrative of resilience. He was forced to work as an electrician under his father's company, a job he detested. Despite the strenuous work, Rhymes' father believed that this was the best way to keep him off the streets and ensure his future. However, Rhymes' aspiration was different. He was completely drawn into the world of hip-hop, wishing to embody all its aspects like rapping and breakdancing. Interestingly, Rhymes initially wanted to be a DJ due to their significance in the music groups at the time. However, realizing his strength lay elsewhere, he unintentionally evolved into an MC around the age of 12. He got charged twice for selling crack, which led to his move from Brooklyn to Long Island, an action spearheaded by his mother. It was in Long Island that he met significant figures like Brown from the Leaders of the New School, and Dink O.D. Despite the move to suburban Long Island, Rhymes admits he found himself surrounded with like-minded kids from the city and continued to indulge in similar activities. It was here that Rhymes began his journey as an accidental MC, evolving from a DJ and dancer to impress his peers, participating in school talent events, and eventually establishing his place in the world of hip-hop. This segment delves deeper into Busta Rhymes' personal journey, forming a compelling narrative of determination, grit, and creativity. Hoi 13, an incident occurred that jolted his path and accelerated his pursuit of a career in hip-hop. Meandering from his initial intent of being a DJ, he found himself inadvertently disrespecting a fellow mix, spurring a reaction that left him morbidly challenged. Roused by this event, Rhymes used it as fuel to build his hip-hop prowess, determined to retaliate in kind through the artistry of rhymes and beats. Seeking an arena for dominance, he started honing his lyrical skills by studying L. Cool J, an artist famous at the time for his confrontational and competitive style. The determination for a rematch was palpable. In a routine after-school gathering, Rhymes confronted his previous offender with a newfound charisma and confidence, unraveling rhymes that not only demonstrated his talent, but also his ability to defend himself through his art. This win marked Busta Rhymes' inadvertent initiation as an MC, marking the genesis of his journey in the world of rap and hip-hop. Simultaneously, Rhymes was wrestling with his persona, transitioning from his original name of Shil Oski. This name, though he laughingly acknowledges it as terrible, pointed towards the three-part names inspired by his favorite rappers, including All Cool J and Jam Master Jay. Rhymes also divulged that his resolve to excel in hip-hop was consolidated by his need to prove his father wrong. His father believed that his son's time spent in rhymes and beats was a worthless pursuit. Rhymes wrote down his goals, forecasting a future where he would bring home a record deal and enough money to validate his wild pursuit of a career often viewed as haphazard and unrealistic by his father. He served as a constant reminder and motivation for his relentless efforts in the hip-hop scene. The segment encapsulates Rhymes' formative years, unfurling his initial struggles, motivations, and key influences, narrating the path that Rhymes needed to walk to become the influential figure in hip-hop he is today. Rhymes openly discusses the personal turbulence he faced with his father, who was primarily unapproving and dismissive of his hip-hop aspirations. His father's relentless insistence on his son being part of his business escalated after an unfortunate incident where Rhymes and his crew, leaders of the new school, were booed off at a performance at the Apollo. Though initially disheartened and chastised for their efforts, Rhymes remained undeterred, adamantly focusing on mastering his craft and bringing forth a unique style that would captivate audiences. Rhymes highlighted the substantial influence of dancehall culture on his performances. The energy, showmanship, and cleverly crafted lyrics evident in dancehall clashes fascinated him, inspiring him to incorporate these elements into his performances. Indulging his love for animated performances and seeking to provide an experience that extended beyond just the lyrics, Rhymes aimed to create a display of creativity and passion that was both engaging and dynamic. He emphasizes the essence of success lies in identifying your passion and relentlessly pursuing it to the point where your dedication becomes irrefutable. Rhymes illustrates this principle by discussing his love for hip-hop, noting that the joy it brings is a feeling unmatched by monetary gain. Pei believes that this love for your craft naturally leads to the creation of wealth, not the other way around. He also notes his desire and determination to ensure the security of his family's well-being, emphasizing that finding a passion that can support this is crucial. Rhymes passes on these fundamentals to his children, encouraging them to identify what they love and master it until they become synonymous with their passion. He stresses that their actions and dedication should speak volumes about their love for what they do, making people unquestionably believe in them. This, according to Rhymes, is what paves the way for predestined or destined success. Also, Rhymes acknowledges his craft's ability to impact others, potentially inspiring someone to pursue their dreams or changing their perspective. He is particularly drawn to the idea of creating something that immortalizes him, transcending the physical and leaving a lasting impact. This concept of legacy, he believes, is a representation of godliness. He feels that calling oneself God or godlike isn't blasphemous, but a reminder of one's ability to strive beyond regular human capacity and achieve the extraordinary. Continuing from the previous passage, Rhymes delves into deeper aspects of his life, be it professional or personal, enveloping the audience in a raw, unedited portrayal of his experience. A seemingly ordinary moment sparked a hit when he smoked a spliff and ate a bowl of cereal, triggering euphoria, and resulting in a blend of rhythm and rhyme that reverberated across the entire world, even in Sweden. This strikes a balance between seriousness and humor in his craft that Rhymes believes is key to captivating and engaging his audience. The conversation then shifts to what Rhymes believes is essential for a successful life, specifically the importance of being selfish in pursuing personal dreams. He emphasizes that this does not translate into disregard for others' well-being, but rather the requirement of focusing solely on personal growth and a willingness to make substantial sacrifices. According to Rhymes, embracing a certain level of maniacal ambition and unwavering faith, irrespective of the hardships and criticisms faced, is integral to achieving success. He interestingly quips, "It's only delusional until it works." In his quest for reaching the top, Rhymes admits to missing crucial moments in his children's lives. The guilt he harbors is evident as he mentions missing his son's high school graduation and one of his daughter's college graduations, among other moments. Despite these regrets, Rhymes maintains that this was a necessary sacrifice at that time. He emphasizes his love for music and the solace he finds in his studio, which provides him a refuge from the trivialities of life. He finds peace in his studio, where he can channel his thoughts, emotions, and energies into creating soul-stirring lyrics that can influence and inspire others. This leads to a discussion about the guilt associated with prioritizing work over family moments. Rhymes acknowledges that there is indeed guilt, but emphasizes the fact that there's no right or wrong way to approach this predicament. As an artist, he found himself caught in circumstances that demanded his constant attention to his craft, inadvertently leading to missed family moments. Rhymes also discusses his multiple legal battles and financial pressures, emphasizing the importance of adaptability, resourcefulness, and relentless dedication to overcome the odds. He concludes this part of the conversation by reminding his children and his partner about his dedication to his passion, affirming that this dedication is an integral part of his identity. In this part of the conversation, Rhymes speaks candidly about the most tumultuous times of his life, recounting the impact of personal loss and tribulation on his career and personal well-being, the unexpected departure of his manager, Chris, who he also considered as a brother, launched him into a spiral of confusion and uncertainty. This loss was exacerbated by the subsequent passing of his father, whom Rhymes had just reconciled with, leaving him feeling stuck in a cycle of regret and sorrow. In the aftermath of these events, Rhymes' health started declining significantly. He found himself battling sleep apnea and struggling with addictions, using substances to numb the pain of his losses. This led to a heart-wrenching conversation with his son, who expressed his fear of losing his father if he didn't change his ways. His son's heartfelt plea, coupled with a doctor's warning about the risk to his life due to his health issues, served as a wake-up call for Rhymes. Taking these warnings to heart, Rhymes decided to change his lifestyle. He recalls reaching out to a renowned professional bodybuilder, Dexter Jackson, who advised him to relocate to Jacksonville for 30 days in order to reshape his body and mind. Rhymes adhered to this advice, and within that period, he managed to shed about 27 pounds. Inspired by the measured transformation, Rhymes continued to work on his health, focusing on mental, spiritual, and physical recovery, which, according to him, had a massive positive impact on his demeanor. He mentions how the approval and pride from his children further boosted his motivation to persist with his healthier lifestyle. shifting the conversation slightly, Rhymes also discusses his newest album, Blockbuster, which, in his words, is a culmination of all his life experiences. He sought to include fresh and young talent in this album, giving them a platform to showcase their abilities, thereby creating a delightful blend of experienced and raw talent. Equally important, Rhymes views this album as a sort of beacon, symbolizing his triumphant journey from darkness to light amidst the global adversity posed by the ongoing pandemic. In this segment of the podcast, Busta Rhymes discusses his unique approach towards the next generation of artists, challenging the commonly perceived narrative that older rappers do not respect newer artists. Rhymes asserts his admiration and camaraderie towards these emerging talents. He recalls how influential artists from his early career days offered guidance, a favor he is now returning to the younger generation of musicians. He's outspoken about his admiration for younger artists and how their work continually inspires him. Notably, Rhymes points out the importance of paying homage to the icons who paved the way, while simultaneously recognizing the latest trends set. Emphasizing collaboration over competition, Stephen Bartlett, the host, frames Rhymes' approach as not passing the torch, but sharing the flame. This concept resonates powerfully with Rhymes, who has been in the music industry for over 3 decades, but refuses to extinguish his flame. Discussing his latest album, Rhymes and Bartlett reiterate the importance of this multi-generational collaboration in creating something significant for the future. Bartlett encourages listeners to explore the album, stating that knowing more about Rhymes enhances the depth and meaning of the album's lyrics. Finally, Bartlett and Rhymes share a heartfelt moment, thanking each other for the enlightening conversation. Rhymes admits that in his extensive career, he has never participated in such an in-depth interview and appreciates Stephen for his insightful questions. The conversation closes on a note of mutual admiration, with sincere appreciation for the time and honesty each one invested. As the podcast wraps, Bartlett takes a moment to talk about Huel and their new nutritionally complete snack bar. Following the advertisement, he then mentions the availability of a limited supply of conversation cards for those on the waiting list.